today is my birthday. I'm 25 today. And it has took me 10 years of having to live as a meth addicted recoverer to realize that, you know, you can only go so far down before death is going to knock on your door.
This is something that you can't deal with. This is something that you can't control. This is something that will take away everything.
It took me a long time to realize what it done to me. Sent me to prison twice. Still in trouble now.
The truth is you're buying pseudoephedrine to take to whoever to manufacture meth.
If I could say anything to anybody about drugs, it would be that they destroyed my life.
And it's like a monster that will put its arms around you and it will never let go.
You will steal, you will cheat, you will lie, you will rob, you will do anything that you can do.
It's not something I can go back and change. It's not something I can go back and fix. It's something I have to live with until the day I die.
Meth. It's a dirty four-letter word you've heard a lot. We wish we could say you won't hear it again because meth is going away, but it's not. Whether you snort it, smoke it, or shoot it, meth is a heartless killer drug made from a witch's brew of chemical poisons. It's dug in deep and holding on.
I was introduced to meth at about 14 years old, I guess, 15. It started out just to get a good high, and then I didn't care nothing about the high. I was addicted to shooting anything. I mean, just whatever I could get, and if I didn't have it, I wouldn't get out of the bed.
When I got to about 15, 16 years old, my dad introduced me into meth, and he was a truck driver. He hauled it in from out west, and there was always plenty of it. You know, it was a lifestyle to us. That's just the way we lived. And so I started doing it too.
And we have younger and younger people in our jail, early 20s, that are having problems with this drug, which is really scary because it's so hard to counteract or to beat an addiction to meth.
It's taken their whole family. It's taken them away from their children. It's destroyed all their relationships.
There's a good chance you already know that methamphetamine is a highly addictive, cooked mix of toxic household items, plus one critical ingredient.
Pseudoephedrine, commonly used as the active ingredient in cold and allergy medications to relieve symptoms of a common cold or allergy.
With meth destroying thousands of lives and meth labs spreading like wildfire, Tennessee's District Attorney Generals joined law enforcement a few years ago to limit and register the sales of these medications. It was a good plan, but meth is so addictive that cooks and users have come up with even more creative yet criminal ways to cook the killer drug while using smaller amounts of the pseudoephedrine they need.
Shake and bake is just, it's a simplified way to make dope they have now. You know, you put a handful of ingredients in a 2-liter bottle and you shake it for 30 minutes, pour it off, gas it like you always do, and you have dope. It's quick, it's a lot cheaper.
So now, a meth cook can make more product, practically anywhere, in less time and for less money. But the process is still dangerous. An unstable combination of toxic chemicals, heat or moisture at the wrong time, it's death in a 2-liter bottle. One thing that hasn't changed about meth is its ability to destroy a lifetime in one explosion. That's something Franklin County Jail inmate Selena Humphrey thinks about every time she looks in a mirror.
2 days after my 15th birthday, I turned 15. It was on a Saturday. I partied hard. That Monday, my mother had put me on the school bus to go to school. I got to the school, and of course, like I said again, I took off walking. Went to a friend's house, and I went to cooking meth. And when I should have been getting off the bus at 4 o'clock that afternoon, the smallest mistake that I had never made before caused the whole room I was in, the home I was in, to explode. I was caught up in a meth lab explosion. I dropped straight to my knees, and instead of falling forward, I fell straight back. And everything in the room was free to burn and fall on my body. Once I got out, the grace of God allowed me to get up to a little ways up the road to where people were trying to get me into the vehicles to get me out of there. At that time, I looked down and my face was like butter. It was melting off into my hands, which my hands were nothing but bone too.
Months in a coma, multiple painful surgeries, a face and body that are permanently disfigured. That should be enough to scare anybody off meth, right?
I didn't learn my lesson then, continued on methamphetamines. I'm in here now today, flattening a 2-year sentence because of a manufacturing charge. I am now a drug felon.
And the 10 years since the explosion, Selena's meth addiction has continued to wreck her life.
Meth was all I cared about. That addiction, that next high, that needle being in my arm, that full, that pipe. The needle and methamphetamine was the addiction and the love of my life.
So how are the cooks getting their hands on the pseudoephedrine they need to make meth?
Okay, we've got another one buying right now. Black male, white jacket, blue jeans.
Many cooks are taking advantage of addicts who will do anything for their next fix. Or young people like you who are just looking for some easy money.
Looks like she's getting in the passenger side of a vehicle, backed in rather, on the Highland side, out next to the road. They're getting ready to pull off. Okay.
It's been given the name smurfing. Sounds cute, but it's not.
It's typically where people other than the actual meth cook will buy pseudoephedrine products or other ingredients used in the manufacture of methamphetamine, and they will pass those on to the cook either for some of the finished product or for money.
You understand why you in handcuffs, right?
48 on this one, 96 on this one, 20 on this one. It was hidden in the speaker box. They had them shoved up in the speaker box. And if you wish to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering questions at any time. We got word that subjects in this car had bought pseudoephedrine. We got consent to search the vehicle. That time we found the pseudoephedrine. They had stuffed several boxes in a speaker box in the trunk, which they had access to from the back seat.
This is what happens when someone tries to make extra money buying pseudoephedrine for a meth cook.
In order for this to work for you, you have to be honest with me. So who are you getting the boxes for, and how much you get in the box? What's the deal?
What's the deal with what?
With the pseudo?
I've been sick.
No, you haven't.
I really haven't. I'm not even lying.
No, let me tell you something, okay? Your buddy's already told off on you, okay? So if you want to continue to lie to me, I can just lock you up right now.
You don't have to go through this yourself to figure out that getting paid any amount to buy pseudoephedrine for a cook just isn't worth it. Not only will you get in trouble with the law, it will put you in contact with people who won't think twice about harming you so they can get their next high. If you're involved, you lose.
Are you looking at potential jail time? Are you looking at something that could very much affect the rest of your life? Yes, you are. And it would be a decision. It'd be a very damaging decision for you to make.
Recently, Tennessee passed laws to stiffen penalties for smurfing and cooking meth in the presence of children. These laws kickstarted a statewide electronic tracking system to log every single purchase of medicine containing pseudoephedrine.
Okay, we've got another one by.
That means Tennessee law enforcement has more resources on hand than ever for tracking would-be smurfers. If you buy pseudoephedrine, the police will know exactly when, where, and how much, even if you buy pseudo in another state. So right about now, you may think it's time to put all this into a nice, neat, happy ending, right? But we wouldn't want to lie to you.
If there's anything I could tell anybody, it would be to stay away from drugs. I mean, especially meth, because it's a dead-end road any way you go.
It is hard because, you know, I'm in here, concrete walls, metal, that's about it.
lab and smurfing busts, arrests, hard prison time. But the strongest weapon in fighting meth is prevention. Never taking that first step down the road where meth will lead you. Because when it comes to meth, the only really happy ending is to have no beginning.
I know you all have hopes and dreams. You have a future ahead of you. Meth is the end of the road for those hopes and dreams. You cannot get there if you're using this drug.
Hello, I'm Governor Bill Haslam. You've seen some of the dangers of meth and the steps we've taken to stop the drug from destroying Tennessee families and communities. We know meth use can ruin your health and your future. The state's district attorneys and I want your help to make our state meth-free. Visit methfreetn.org to learn more about the dangers of meth and how you can get involved in this effort.